According to Shinto belief, all things, even inanimate objects, possess their own unique spirits known as kami, which imbue them with life. Deceased human spirits are referred to as yurei, while other supernatural entities fall under the category of yokai. These yokai are beings or creatures with attributes that lie somewhere between human and animal. Richly woven into Japanese folklore, yokai come in diverse forms, ranging from humanoid figures to animal-like creatures, each wielding a wide array of powers and abilities. While some yokai are benevolent, others lean toward malevolence and may cause harm or mischief. Many yokai are closely tied to specific places, such as mountains, forests, or bodies of water, and their powers or abilities often align with these locations. They tend to appear predominantly during twilight hours. In this video, I will delve into the world of some of the most famous yokai, including the Kappa, Kitsune, Oni, Tengu, and more. Arguably, one of the most renowned yokai is the Kappa, which I previously discussed in a video about my experiences in Japan while trying to find evidence of its existence. The Kappa resembles the size of a 10-year-old boy, with webbed hands and feet, and a tortoise shell covering its back. Its peculiar appearance features a monkey-like face with a long, beaky nose, emitting a foul odor, and a rather slimy texture. However, the most distinctive trait is the large, bowl-shaped indentation atop its head, containing a clear, gelatinous fluid believed to be the source of its power. The Kappa sports black hair in a short pageboy style and resides in swampy pools and bodies of water like rivers, lakes, and streams. Known for its malevolent behavior towards humans, the Kappa lures victims into the water to suck the life out of them, often avoiding the neck and extracting entrails through the anus. It is said to particularly relish human livers, but sometimes it settles for a mere bite of flesh as a snack. The creature enjoys challenging passers-by to a game called Pull Finger, in which it inevitably succeeds in pulling the victim into the water. An intriguing legend about the Kappa narrates how it lost its arm when it got stuck to a cow. In its search for the missing arm, it negotiated with the cow's owner, agreeing to teach him how to set broken bones in exchange for the arm, transforming the man into a renowned healer. To escape a Kappa's clutches, travelers must continuously bow to the creature, forcing the Kappa to reciprocate. As it bows lower and lower, the vital fluid in its head indentation begins to drip away, rendering it powerless. This weakened state provides an opportunity for one to flee to safety. Additionally, the Kappa has a fondness for cucumbers, eggplants, and fleshy melons. People offer cucumbers inscribed with the names of their loved ones to the water, hoping the Kappa will accept the offering and leave them unharmed. Kitsune are revered as fox spirits with the remarkable ability to transform into beautiful female apparitions dressed in flowing white robes. Occasionally, they may employ this guise to seduce men and drain their life force, similar to vampire-like creatures. Similar to Western fox lore, Japanese Kitsune are believed to possess great intelligence, magical powers, and long life. Their most extraordinary skill is shape-shifting into human form, which they acquire when they reach a certain age, usually 100 years, although some tales suggest 50. According to Japanese lore, any fox that lives for a sufficient period can become a kitsune or fox spirit, and they often appear as beautiful women, young girls, or old men in their human-like manifestations. They have the ability to possess unsuspecting souls and drive them to permanent insanity. This phenomenon, known as kitsune-suki or fox possession, can be readily diagnosed when the person possessed starts claiming to be Inari, the god of rice, and develops intense cravings for rice with red beans, which are considered fox favorites. The possessed individuals may display signs of depression, restlessness, and insomnia, making it difficult for them to sleep at night. They prefer eating alone and avoid making eye contact. It is believed that cases of madness caused by fox possession are retribution for past offenses against the kitsune by a member of the victim's family. Interestingly, some documented cases involve illiterate individuals who, when possessed, surprisingly exhibit the ability to write fluently and draw pictures of the fox as the messenger of Inari in their communications. They may also gain extraordinary powers, such as the ability to fly and pass through walls. Unlike werewolf possession, the victim retains their human shape day and night and never fully transforms into an animal. Kitsune-suki enters the human body through the breast or under the fingernails and exists independently inside. The possessed individual, often a woman, can hear and understand everything that this double in her consciousness is saying or doing. She and the fox spirit often engage in violent arguments, speaking in markedly different voices. To dispel the possession, a priest is often called in to berate the fox spirit and command it to leave. The fox may negotiate its terms, arranging for offerings like rice, and if satisfied, it will eventually agree to depart. These possessions have been observed and recorded as early as the 12th century and continue to this day. Kitsune can also assume the role of lovers. One tale recounts the story of a 50-year-old man who encountered a group of captivating females in a restaurant. He joined them for sake and spent the night with one of them. When he woke up the next morning, the woman had vanished, revealing that the entire group had been foxes. Due to his own lascivious nature, he had been targeted, and as a consequence, he wasted away and died 30 days later. Other tales revolve around love stories between a young human male and a kitsune who takes the form of a woman. Such stories often emphasize the devotion of the fox wife and frequently carry a tragic element, with the discovery of the fox wife leading to her departure from her husband. To counter the mischief of troublesome kitsune, an annual festival called Kitsunokuri, fox expelling, takes place in Tatami province on January 14th. Villagers, led by a mountain priest, carry straw foxes and straw dolls to a mountain outside the town and bury the straw foxes. The ceremony is believed to avert kitsune pranks for the coming year, including their habit of using human voices to lure travelers and casting spells over people. The kitsune have inspired various expressions, with the most famous being Kitsune no Yomiri, fox's wedding, used to describe the unusual phenomenon of rain during bright sunshine. It is said that whenever this sight occurs, a fox bride is making her way through the woods to the house of her fox groom. Another eerie sight is Kitsunbai, fox fire, believed to be caused by a mysterious emanation, like a fireball that the fox breathes through its mouth or creates with its magical tail, or perhaps by a group of torch-bearing foxes leading a fox wedding procession. The light appears at twilight and then simply disappears. The Oni stand as the mightiest, most violent, and perilous yokai. Resembling ogres or demons, they possess red bodies, occasionally blue or green, adorned with horns and fangs, and they have 3 toes and 3 fingers on each hand, ending in talons, while also being capable of flight. Oni serve as guardians of the gates of hell, overseeing and tormenting the damned. Their behavior is excessive, as they indulge in overeating and drinking, randomly abduct young women, and exhibit revoltingly uncouth manners. These demons are always present when disasters strike and are also associated with disease. One legend tells the tale of a sweet young bride who was abducted by an Oni on her way to her own wedding. The girl's brave mother embarked on a quest to find her daughter and, with the assistance of a priestess, located the hideous Oni's home. Seizing the opportunity while the Oni was away, the girl concealed her mother inside a massive stone chest. When the Oni returned, he sensed the presence of a human, and grew furious. However, the girl cleverly defused the situation by announcing she was pregnant. The Oni, delighted, called for a feast and consumed a great deal of sake, eventually passing out from intoxication. Taking advantage of this moment, the girl freed her mother from the stone chest, and they escaped using a boat. Upon discovering his wife missing, the Oni became furious and set out to chase the women across the river. In his rage, he began drinking the river dry. However, when the women lifted their kimonos and exposed their privates, the unexpected sight caused the Oni to burst into laughter, expelling all the water back into the river. In this moment of distraction, the boat carrying the women swiftly escaped to safety. The story of the Oni demonstrates their childlike impulsiveness despite their great powers. Preoccupied with fulfilling excessive bodily needs, their intelligence can be diminished, making them vulnerable to human trickery and ingenuity. Shocking an Oni or giving them distracting tasks, like counting holes in a sieve, can help victims escape from their grasp. These yokai take center stage during Setsuban, a Japanese holiday celebrated in early February, just before the onset of spring in the lunar calendar. It is believed that on this day, Oni pay visits to Japanese homes. To ward them off, a special ceremony called the Oni-yarahi is held to expel the Oni and the misfortune they represent. People will throw dry peas in 4 directions to drive the Oni away. In addition, house doors are adorned with dried fish heads and holly branches. Tengu mainly inhabit cedar or pine trees in the mountainous areas of Japan. There are 2 main types of Tengu, the higher Tengu with a human-like form donning red robes of a bishop and a small crown. They are characterized by white hair, a red face, and are often seen holding a feathered fan. Each higher Tengu resides on its own mountain peak. On the other hand, the inferior Tengu possesses small wings and sharp claws on its fingers and toes. They are sometimes seen wearing small black hats and clothes made of leaves, all with large, mischievous eyes and elongated beak-like noses. They tend to travel in groups. Tengu share some traits with the Chinese Tianko, described variously as a shooting star or a mountain demon in the shape of a dog descending from the sky with fire and thunder. In both versions, the Chinese demon has 2 wings and is associated with kidnapping and consuming small children, along with the ability to shapeshift. Tengu are often believed to be the spirits of arrogant or vengeful deceased individuals, renowned for their malicious enjoyment of practical jokes. They particularly target Buddhist monks, disrupting their pious activities by strapping them to the tops of trees or offering them food that turns out to be excrement. Sometimes, they assume the appearance of Buddhist monks to lead others astray and obstruct prayers. Tengu also appear to travelers who become lost in the mountains. Like fairies, they delight in stealing human children and concealing them from their parents, often returning them in a confused state, never fully regaining their senses. The lower Tengu carry out nefarious errands for the higher Tengu. As all Tengu can bestow supernatural powers upon their followers, they have garnered a group of worshippers known as mountain priests or Yamabushi, who claim to possess the ability to heal illnesses and exorcise demons. To deal with Tengu, one must understand their rules. Tengu claim ownership of all trees in the mountains, and those cutting lumber must propitiate them by offering rice cakes to appease their spirits. Historically, woodcutters have had frequent contact with Tengu, as they need to satisfy the spirits to successfully chop down a tree. Otherwise, Tengu may play vicious tricks like causing avalanches or making axe heads fall off handles. Yuki-Onna, also known as the Lady of the Snow, possesses the ability to assume various forms, appearing as an irresistibly beautiful maiden dressed in all white, with pale skin and breath resembling frost. Additionally, she can manifest as a white vapor flowing through cracks in doors or hover over her victims as a misty, floating essence. In each instance, she gently yet inexorably sucks the life breath from her prey through her glacial lips. According to a chilling tale, on a bitterly cold night, two men, a master and his servant, were traveling through a mountain forest when they sought shelter in a cabin due to a snowstorm. While they slept, the servant was awakened by snow blowing across his face, only to discover the cabin door wide open. A spectral figure dressed in flowing white floated into the room. To his horror, he witnessed the pale figure bending over his master, breathing a misty stream of white smoke into his mouth. When she turned her attention to him, he was paralyzed with fear. The woman, identified as Yuki-Onna, spared him because he was young and handsome, but warned him never to speak of the incident to anyone under the threat of death. She vanished, leaving his master lifeless. In a surprising twist of fate, the man later encountered a beautiful maiden named Yuki on his way home to the village. They married, and she bore him 10 children with unusually pale complexions. However, one night, as Yuki sat sewing beside a lamp, the lamplight illuminated her face in such a way that the man was reminded of the dreadful night with the ghostly woman who killed his master. Sharing this memory with his wife, Yuki transformed into a demonic figure, revealing herself as the very Yuki-Onna he encountered long ago. She reminded him of the promise to keep her true identity a secret and the consequences should he break it. After warning him never to harm their children and to always keep his actions under her watchful gaze, she transformed into mist and vanished through the chimney. The Tanuki is a skilled deceiver and a master of shapeshifting. Its natural form resembles a large raccoon dog, but its most extraordinary power lies in its magical testicles, which it uses to perform an array of tricks and transformations. These testicles are incredibly versatile, transforming into weapons, drums, umbrellas, pools, or cloaks to evade enemies. The Tanuki also takes pleasure in mimicking human activities, such as drinking, gambling, and participating in certain Buddhist rituals. While they often engage in harmless pranks, they should not be underestimated, as they can pose a threat at times. The legendary Tanuki is associated with 8 special traits: a hat symbolizing readiness to protect against trouble or bad weather, big eyes that enhance perception and aid in making wise decisions, a sake bottle representing virtues, a large tail providing steadiness and strength until success is achieved, an oversized scrotum symbolizing financial luck, a promissory note representing trust and confidence, a big belly symbolizing bold and calm decisiveness, a friendly smile that exudes positivity and charm. As such, Tanuki hold great popularity as yokai in Japan and are considered symbols of good fortune for businesses. It is common to see Tanuki figurines with prominently large testicles displayed at the entrances of shops and restaurants to attract good luck. Tsukumogami refers to objects that have acquired a kami or spirit, any object that has reached its 100th birthday and thus become alive and self-aware. To prevent this, people used to throw out old objects before they reached 100 years old, aiming to keep them from becoming Tsukumogami. Ironically, this action became the trigger that would anger those tools that were 1 year short of 100 years old so much that they would transform into yokai by some means other than just the passage of time, causing disturbances. The Tsukumogami were generally considered harmless, often performing household and cleaning chores by themselves at night. Occasionally, they might play pranks. However, they were also believed to possess a capacity for anger and would unite to seek revenge if the tools were mistreated, neglected, or discarded thoughtlessly. In such cases, they would take revenge by attacking their owners while they were asleep. To this day, some jinja ceremonies are performed to console broken and unusable items and prevent the wrath of these spirits. If encountering a single yokai isn't frightening enough, the most spine-chilling experience one can have is witnessing the yokai parades, known as Hayaki Yagyo, the night parade of 100 demons. These eerie processions typically occur on warm summer nights, coinciding with Obon, a Buddhist holiday when the spirits of the deceased are believed to visit the homes of their living families. During these nights, the yokai would cunningly deceive humans, luring them out into the streets. Taking advantage of this opportunity, these terrifying monsters would prey upon the curious humans who had gathered to witness the macabre spectacle. To ensure safety during the yokai parade nights, the only option is to stay securely indoors. If you're still craving more of the yokai phenomenon, you can check out my next video on the Zashiki Warashi, a household child spirit.